Welcome to a 5 at 5. It's just getting boring. We're too good. Yet another win, and you know the deal. If your team is top of the league, hit like on this video right now and let's get into my 5 at 5. Number one, domination. And the reason I'm saying that is because, yeah, it might have felt like a close game yesterday. 3-2, the scoreline suggests it was close and we're on the edge of our seat and that sort of thing. They've gone one up and then they've equalised once we've gone 2-1 up. But it wasn't close. It really wasn't close. 63 touches in their box. That isn't just a league high for Arsenal this season. No team across all of the games that have been played in the Premier League this season so far have had more touches in the opposition box than what Arsenal managed against Man United yesterday. It was pure domination. Not only that, we successfully completed more passes than they even managed to attempt in the game yesterday. Again, we had an expected goals of 3.16. We haven't managed a higher XG than that in any game in the Premier League this season than what we managed against them. We had 25 shots to their 6. It was domination. It might not have felt like that, but it absolutely was. If it wasn't for Aaron Ramsdale giving them a way back into the game and we were 2-1 up, actually, do you know what? I think we would have run out more comfortable winners. But do you know what? They came, they tried to make it difficult, and especially after getting that lucky goal that they scored their second goal with, they did put up a bit of a defence, but it wasn't close. We dominated in every way possible. We dominated possession. We were better in every way. We were the ones trying to win the game. I don't think anyone was even worried about Man United winning. Even on the counter-attack, we just bullied them, especially in that last half an hour. Our midfield just dominated them. So it might have felt like a close game, but don't get it wrong. Once you watch it back and you look at the stats, this was a domination. Number two, I have to talk about Eddie Nketiah. What an unbelievable impact he is having. I've always said that if you ask Eddie Nketiah why he hasn't done as well as what we might have hoped, he would always turn around and say he hasn't been given the opportunity. And now, look at his numbers. They speak for themselves. In his last 13 starts for Arsenal Football Club, he's got 13 goals. You can't argue with that. And yesterday, he absolutely made the difference. Not just getting the all-important winner, but getting that really important goal that gets us back into the game. A brilliant cross by Granit Xhaka. But a lot of this season, when I've spoken about Gabriel Jesus, I've praised him and he's been absolutely brilliant. You can't just look at his goals because his goal involvements are absolutely brilliant and he's done so well for us. But yesterday, I did wonder, in this game against Man United, if it was Jesus rather than Nketiah, would we have scored these chances? Because too often Jesus isn't in the box where he needs to be. And you look at the 2 goals that Eddie Nketiah scored yesterday, they're both Fox in the box, 6-yard box sort of goals. Now, Eddie Nketiah has absolutely smashed it. But the question that I've got for you guys is, if Gabriel Jesus was fit for the next Premier League game, who do you start in your team? Does Jesus come straight back in, or has Nketiah earned his place now as a fair competitor for that starting spot with Gabriel Jesus? Let me know in the comments. Number 3, our last 4 games. And I want to talk about this because 4 games ago, when I looked at the Premier League season fixture list and I saw Brighton away, Newcastle at home, Spurs away, Man United at home, I thought to myself, this will tell us everything we need to know about Arsenal Football Club. We had spells like this last season where I said the same thing and we disappointed. And ultimately, we didn't make it work at the end and we sort of bottled it, let's be honest. But this season, we're surely seeing a different Arsenal. Brighton, we go and win, score 4 goals. Newcastle, really tough game. Could and perhaps should have won it, but still 0-0. We didn't really look like losing either. And then Spurs away, brilliant performance. Man United at home, brilliant performance from 12 possible points in what is a really, really tough run of 4 games. 2 really tough away games, 10 points. That is a sensational return. And it tells us everything we need to know about Arsenal this season and the mentality that this team have got. Now, our next 2 games, thankfully, are a lot easier than that. We've got Everton away, who have just sacked Frank Lampard, which might make it a bit more difficult if they get a new manager in time to sort of like boost them before they play us. And then we've got Brentford at home. After that, It's the big showdown against Man City in the league away from home. And now we've got a dry run of that fixture this Friday in the FA Cup. But really the one that matters for our chances of winning the league is that away showdown against Man City. What's interesting is that they have to play Spurs away before that game. So hopefully, I mean, it's hard to ever want Spurs to win, but I would take a draw right now. If Man City drop points away at Tottenham before they play Arsenal, it gives us a little bit of breathing space. But it's so important that Arsenal now, after doing so well in these last 4 games that are very tough, that we make sure we go and beat Everton away, who are in disarray, and go and beat Brentford at home, because we have to win those sorts of games. If we don't, it will be a massive blow before we go and play Man City. Let me know what your predictions are for that Man City away Premier League game, because the FA Cup might have a bit of team selections that we're not really sure of, but that Premier League game, we know we're going to go full strength. Let me know your predictions for that showdown game in the comments below. Number 4, I want to talk about Ben White, because look, Ben White yesterday, for the first time in ages, probably the first time this season, didn't look like a seasoned right back playing in his favoured position. Let's not forget Ben White as a centre back, and that's why I wanted to talk about him today, because this is a bit of appreciation for Ben White and how well he has done. He's come up against a player in Marcus Rashford yesterday, who has got the best record in terms of goals scored since the World Cup out of all of the players in the top 5 leagues in Europe. That's how good Marcus Rashford is right now. He's absolutely on top form. And yeah, he gave Ben White hell yesterday. When you look at Ben White's game by numbers, I think he only had 65% successful pass completion, 33% of ground duels won. He committed 2 fouls. He got a yellow card, no accurate long balls, no successful dribbles. He did manage to win 2 tackles and 6 recoveries, but he struggled, let's face it. But you know what? He's been absolutely brilliant for us all season, playing in a position that isn't even his natural position. So cut Ben White some slack. And also I think Mikel Arteta made the right call and got it bang on. Being brave, seeing that Ben White had struggled, was already on a yellow card, and taking him off and putting on Tomiyasu, I think was brilliant management, protected the player, and helped Arsenal deal with Rashford, who was much less effective in the second half than he was the first half. So a lot of credit for Ben White and a lot of credit for Mikel Arteta. Number 5, I'm going to end on the home fans. You know, people used to criticise the stadium atmosphere at the Emirates, but yesterday was absolutely rocking. And earlier I touched upon the fact that Arsenal dominated Man United. One really crucial part of that was the fact that we came back very quickly to going 1 goal down. In fact, it only took us 7 minutes. And I was looking at the stats of this earlier. Only Newcastle have spent less time losing in Premier League games this season than Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal have spent only 5.3% of their entire Premier League minutes in a losing position. And every time we concede a goal where we're losing, we hit back quickly. And that's what we did yesterday. Now, how does that link to the home fans? Well, in the stadium yesterday, Rashford scored that brilliant goal. The fans were quiet for all of about 5 seconds before we were chanting, singing, shouting Arsenal, and willing the team on to respond properly. And you know what? It really makes such a massive impact. Listen to what professional footballers have got to say about the impact of fans. Look at the results and how they differed during that COVID period when home fans weren't at stadiums and no fans were at stadiums, and how away teams fared better. Yesterday, the home fans made all the difference in terms of helping the team respond to going 1 goal down, and also how they helped the team basically pull that ball into the back of the net to go and score that winner. The home fans deserve a lot of credit, but clearly we respond to the effort and the passion that the players put in. Right now, it feels brilliant to be an Arsenal fan, and I can't wait to see what it feels like to have 8,000 Arsenal fans at the Etihad Stadium on Friday. That is going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. Thank you very much for watching the 5 at 5. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed. I hit 35k just not too long ago, and now I'm already on 35, 200 and something or whatever. So all of the new subscribers, I appreciate you. If you haven't already, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's go and win this league.